just to let you guys know, your comments is not gonna be none of this is gonna be put on YouTube, but even the sign here. But just to say, you can also watch on YouTube if you like. So we're gonna be talking about why it's hard to commit to stay committed and disciplined alone, or the challenge of discipline alone. So this is what we're talking about. So it can be, we all have goals. It can be whatever goal that you want to achieve. It can be whatever that you want to. It's the end of the year now, and we probably want to, become something else, or put yourself in a different position in life, or for whatever reason you have goals, and whatever your goals might be. A lot of the time, we can choose to start these goals by ourselves, or we can choose to start these goals with a coach or someone else. So it is always ideal that you try to find, okay, what is the best balance? What is the best way? Hi, Tibatha. What is the best way to actually approach your goal? Because again, this is gonna be now, it's gonna be the end of the year, and there's gonna be a lot of goals that we can achieve. And there's gonna be a position or a moment for you to, reconnect with the thing that you wanted to do or always wanted to do. But for to start, I'm gonna tell you guys some stories um that that are, I don't know if you guys can relate. Maybe you can relate, but let's see. The title is Anyone Else a High Achiever While Younger, but as an adult struggle with daily tasks. So basically it's saying we were a child or younger, it was probably easier to be a high achiever, maybe because of just life. There were so many things that was making it easier. It could have been our parents. We didn't have to worry about so many things. Our parents were handling the bills or all other things. Or life could have been much more simpler. And we didn't, maybe also didn't go through so much mental trauma or emotional trauma for whatever that situation that we had to face. And there's a reason for that. There's a reason why a lot of the time, we may struggle as an adult versus when we are a child. It was easier for us to achieve a goal that we set out to do. So it really goes like this. I was an incredible high achiever while in my traumatic home. So this person lived in a very traumatic home, but still, this person was a high achiever. Lettered, so this person went through, was very, very well respected in the sports or and also in the school, and where they played sports in college and attempted top tier, very respectable university. But now it's been 8 years since college and 8 years of therapy, and I'm also feel or almost feel like I'm regressing, meaning that the person feel like they're going back than actually moving forward, to where daily task or daily to do that and developing routines and extremely difficult, because sometimes you can go through a situation where our routines, our tasks that we need to do are very difficult to do, and that could be for a lot of reasons why this happened. And sometimes it's just something that happens for us because we can be going through a situation where, something used to be easy, but then now as we get older or we become adults, it can be very much difficult to keep a stable rhythm, or to keep self-discipline. This is what we're talking about. So it reads also, I almost got into a panic thinking and being trapped in my daily routine. I'm constantly angry and defeated about how many dishes or small activities that I have to do, how many laundries that are here, or how many things that probably cleaning your place, or probably your work that you have to do, even for school or even for work, or different tasks that you have to do, can feel very make you feel that it's a big mountain that you have to climb, and makes the difficulties, um, capacity raise higher. So it becomes very hard for you to do. It's very challenging. So it feels like when I was younger, I was conquering. He says like When he was younger, he was basically accomplishing the task that he wanted to accomplish. He was productive, and now as an adult feels like the responsibilities are consuming me. Have you ever felt that so many responsibilities, so many things that you have to do are, just pulling you down? It's just becoming like, so difficult for you to actually achieve. So this is what this person is saying, that the responsibilities as an adult is consuming them. I feel like a child and feels ashamed of how difficult simple things like daily exercise, daily dishwash or daily cooking or daily shower are for me. So have you guys ever noticed as an adult, sometimes daily tasks, daily things that you're supposed to do, things that you used to do when you were younger, where which was high, which was very easy for you to actually do, but now it's getting even much more harder, or your discipline level is not how it used to be. So this is why we're gonna be talking about why, it's challenges, the challenges of this of self-discipline alone. So more of how is it become more difficult when you're trying to stay disciplined alone. That's what it's about. Because, like I said, we all have our goals that we want to be better ourselves, that we want to accomplish different things. It is always better that we know, okay, exactly how to actually, what are the things, what are the forces that are against us? It's happening right now, really. Um, yeah. So, all right. So we're gonna explore that. We're gonna explore that topic. It's more difficult. So one thing is for sure, if it's happening right now, again, it's ideal that you have transparency in your communication, and that's really necessary. And now we're gonna take a look at the very things that are against you, or to actually understand the entire situation that how it is. So now staying committed and disciplined without a coach is very hard, because it's very hard thing to do for you, because you're trying to be the player, you're trying to be the coach, and you're trying to be also the referee of your game, or the referee of your goal at the same time. So you're trying to be everything to yourself and at the same time. So although that can be very exhausting, and also is very difficult, so you probably have to do everything by yourself. So now we're going to take a look at the blind spot problem. So blind spot. So you have a spot that is blind. So right now I can see mostly from a certain angle, and other angles I'm not able to see. So it's like once you have lack of external perspective, the internal perspective is always what we think in our minds, or what we see, it has to do with our internal perception, or how we see our lives, or how we see ourselves. So now when we there's also an outside perspective. So let's say, for example, now you guys, I'm seeing myself in the inside, you guys are seeing me from the outside. The lack of external perspective. So a coach provides an objective outside view that you simply cannot have of yourself. So all alone, you have no accountability mirror. Because one thing for sure, as you try to start your goal, or as you and your goal, when you are going through situation, when you set a goal, it's good to have someone that you can help you to stay accountable, meaning that can help you to stay, that you can rely on, that you can have a shoulder, to probably cry on, or shoulder to actually to help you to stay motivated, to get a mirror. Because a lot of the time, knowing you have to report, when you have to report your progress to someone, that is a very powerful motivator. That's something that keeps you motivated, because okay, you have to give an explanation for what's actually happening, when you are different situations that are going on. Because without a coach, the only person you are letting down is just yourself. But when you have a coach, psychologically or mentally, it is not as easy for you to break your promises. And a lot of the time, some people can try to lie or deceive to try to break their promises, or try to maybe just lie to the coach. But one thing is for sure, doing this is not gonna be a good thing for your self-esteem or your self-confidence, because along the way, this is a path of actually you know some people think that you have to do it yourself in order to gain confidence or self-confidence, but it's not about doing it yourself. It's about just doing it as well, so you can build this self-confidence over time. And as you guys know or should know, that self-confidence is something that is contagious, and having a coach that is confident about the situation that you or the goal that you are having, then you can gain the confidence from that, from the coach as well. And one thing that a lot of people don't know about, or they probably not aware of, is that we talk about this multiple times in the past, how your brain can be your worst enemy. But in almost everything, every situation that you are trying to accomplish with your life, your brain can be working against you. Let's say you are suffering from confirmation bias. Confirmation bias is that if somebody would say, yes, I'm a terrible person, you would be looking forward to everything that signal that simple confirmation, or that simple thoughts or notion of what you feel or think that I am. So this is only what you're gonna see. If somebody says I'm a good person, and this is only what you're gonna see as well. But if you have in your mind, oh yeah, he's a bad person, or I just want to see how he is, but it's also that you're not choosing a side, but you, and in the back of your mind, your side is already chosen. Because if you think that I'm a terrible person, then you're gonna find reasons, you're gonna find confirmation to give weight to what you believe in. So it's always when you, so this is how your brain will be working against you, because when you noticing only the evidence that you are too busy or not cutting out for so you can be thinking to yourself, oh, I'm too busy, or I'm not made for this, or I can't do this, or this is not made for me, or is this something that that's not a good fit for me, or all these things, or it's gonna actually make you believe that yourself, and you're gonna actually create all different scenarios that's gonna point out to your inability. Your is gonna say, okay, I'm not able to do this, so you're gonna create scenarios that gonna give you the confirmation that you are unable to do it. So, and it'll basically when you overestimating your abilities and knowledge, leading to a poor result or not result at all. Because sometimes some people will overestimate their abilities, so meaning they are thinking over their head. So basically they are making the goal become more larger or more bigger for them, that they can, that it gets too heavy that they cannot carry it. But you'll focus on the bad days and let the negative moments influence your entire week. Because a lot of the time when you have no coach, one day goes wrong, and then that can mean your entire week is, you find your entire week, it doesn't matter, you don't have to try again, because one day goes wrong, and that means your entire week is gonna be like this. A lot of the time, that's how some people goes through this situation. And another thing I want to talk about is that motivation is something that we always hear about, and we always think about, we have to be motivated. But one thing is for sure, motivation is not always there. Sometimes you might not be in the mood, sometimes you might not feel like it, sometimes you might feel sick, sometimes you might feel tired, sometimes you might feel exhausted. There will be all, and that can also be in the same box of your mind or your brain being holding you back. But also it can be a form of laziness, or it can be procrastination, or it can be a habit that you've learned over time. That can be a lot of things. But versus this, when you come discipline, because there's the motivation versus discipline trap. And I'm not saying these things to say to basically make you guys feel like, okay, hyper criticize yourself, but it's more to open your mind to know, okay, where do you stand. So as a coach, a coach help you bridge the gaps between fleeting motivation and lasting discipline. Motivation, you can feel motivated or very energized at this point to do something. You want to do it, or you just drink a coffee, or you just take an energy drink, whatever people, whatever gets you motivated, or you probably, what can probably listen to a music, or you just heard some motivational talk, and that gets you very excited and you just want to do it. But again, think about this. It's something that motivation is not something that lasts all the time. But what will last all the time, what and something that you can measure that can go on and on is discipline, meaning you just gotta do it. And because one thing is for sure, motivation is very fickle, is volatile, volatile fuel. So it's like, yeah, it's like if you imagine a candle, when you light it up, there's a limited amount of time that it can burn, and then after there's no more candle. So you can think of motivation like that versus, you know, the lights in your house. There's constant electricity that is flowing through your home, if you're living in the West at least. And you can always turn on your lights whenever you feel like, or you always have constant power flowing through your home. So that's the difference, because in the initial start, there will be a spark that you feel great, and but it always lead to burnout. Always leads to a point where you are, just like a candle. It just is finished. There's a burnout. It's all the juice that it had is over. So now when you are alone and motivation, when you are doing your goals or trying to accomplish your goals alone and motivation vanish, which it will, because motivation is something you cannot, it's very difficult for you, or it's not possible to keep motivation all the time, because as we are human beings, and we have good days, when we have bad days, we have days that are not, we have in a good mood and we are in a bad mood. We are just, we fluctuate different time. So meaning that the motivation is gonna go where we don't want it to be, is gonna lower. And when that happens, that you lack motivation, you have nothing to fall back on if you are not disciplined. And having a coach help you build systems that work even when you don't feel like it. And even when you don't feel like it, and all you got to do is, follow what the coach says, or what the coach advises you to do. And there are, and so the thing is too, is to be open and transparent, to talk about what are the challenges that you are going through, because a coach won't try to judge you, but a coach wants to understand in order to be able to help you to get over the situation, or to help you to get back on track. Because that's the main thing. The goal is not going to be something that you can accomplish from point A to point B just like that. It's not going to be a straight line. When you think about a goal, you always have to think about different path that you have to take. Sometimes it's not always a straight line. And in our mind, it might seem like a straight line, but again, that's just in our mind. So why the gets foggy, so blurry. A lot of the time, why you started doing your goal, or whenever we have a goal, we have a why. Let's say, yeah, everyone, we have a why we want to get a goal. So it can be trying to accomplish your health goal, or it can be trying to accomplish your size goal, so meaning you want to weigh a specific amount of weight, or it can be whatever your goal might be. There's always a why that you want to do it, meaning I want to get in shape because I want to be lighter, or I want to be I want to build my figure, or I want to work on my mental health, because I want to feel lighter mentally and emotionally. Or it could be, whichever that your goal is, whatever your goal might be, it is, a lot of the time you have a why, that the reason behind it. So a lot along the path of you trying to achieve your goal, your why might actually becomes, not so clear. It becomes blurry. If you think about a mirror that you breathe on your mirror, it becomes very blurry. You're not able to see as clear as it should. So one day your goal can be clear, and by day 30, or by second week, or any time along the path, and your goal can begin to become blurry, that you're unable to understand, or to really remember, why am I doing this again, why am I putting myself through this again? I know this is difficult, or I have to do it, but why am I doing this again? Sometimes the why gets blurry. But the thing is, the reason why the why is important, it helps you to connect, to give you some to connect to yourself when motivation is not there. It also can be a tool to help you to spike up, or to light up your motivation even more. So A coach help you to constantly reframe or seeing the different areas or different angles to help you to reconnect back to your why. It reminds you, and the coach, hey, it reminds you of your why and helps you to connect daily with daily tasks that you have to do to see the bigger picture. And the bigger picture is your end goal, of course. Where do you want to be? Where what position that you want to achieve? And so a coach help you to actually, be able to see the bigger picture when you forget the why, when you forget why you're doing this, why am I putting myself through this struggle, then a coach can help you to actually understand, okay, this is, although it is difficult at this point, but it is something that you are able to achieve. So on your own, it's easy to lose sight. On your own, when you're doing it on your own, it's easy to lose sight of the forest from the tree. If you are trying to find a tree in the forest, meaning that you are your own self and you are going after your goal, and your goal is only something that you yourself can achieve for you. And a lot of the time, when you're in the forest, you can lack focus, but a coach help you to regain your focus. And yeah, planning and problem solving become a burden as well. Alone, when you are not without coaching and you are alone, planning and become very much a burden for you. A coach is a strategic a coach help you provide you with strategies or troubleshooting or finding solutions and your errors. So it is something, without one, the entire burden falls on you. Without a coach, the entire burden of you finding solutions or you finding strategies to get out of the trouble moments that you would definitely face, it becomes entirely on you. So have you ever been have you guys ever heard of analysis paralysis? Do you guys know what is that? Analysis paralysis? Who in the chat knows? So analysis paralysis is basically, especially at this time that we're living in, and a moment of ChatGPT and a moment of internet, information can be so easily found, and it can be so easy for us to just take out our mobile phone or our computer, whichever that you use, and search for information. So that's very, very easy for us to do that. But the thing is, when we have a goal that we're trying to achieve, when we are at this point, especially at this time we're living in, there are constant information out there. And when we have a goal we're trying to achieve, we keep searching for the perfect plan or the perfect technique of how to actually do the activities or the goal that we want to achieve. We constantly keep searching. We constantly keep reading. They'll tell you to read this, they'll tell you to watch this video, they'll tell you to do so many research about your goal. But I do understand that research is important, but the most important thing is the action that you're gonna take. That's what's gonna set the difference. You can take so much time in searching for the perfect plan or the perfect outcome or the perfect technique, but the actual situation that's gonna help you is the action part. So a coach will provide you with a proven plan. You'll basically stop thinking and you'll be more acting. You'll stop thinking or stop feeling about the situation or thinking about how do you feel about the situation, but you start more on finding out what you can do to start taking steps rather. So, and also when you're doing it alone, when you're actually trying to achieve your goal alone, there are situations or moments that you have to change your direction, because that's something that is normal. Sometimes you probably have to change your direction because the direction that you are going to is not, you need to change your way. So if you are driving, if you are going to a place and you find, okay, wherever you're going, it becomes, your goal, it becomes, you wish to a plateau, which a point where you're not growing or you're not making any progress, then that becomes an obstacle, that become a moment whether that you are not making any progress. So A coach that will help you to analyze the situation and find an adjustment plan or different things that you can do to actually still get results, but at the same time to adjust, to change your path. So a lot of the time on your own, you are more likely to get frustrated and quit, and you'll be thinking that the goal entirely becomes pointless. So you get frustrated and just give up. And when you just probably need just a small change or a small tweak in your planning to be able to, stay consistent, or to actually be, to go after the things that you want. Because when you become exhausting of the decision making process, every day you have to decide, or every day you have to choose what do you want to do. It could be that you can be like, what should I do today, what should I eat today, what workout should I do today, or how should I do it. So the decision becomes constant. You're constantly in a situation where you're making decision, and that can basically drain your willpower. It can make you feel like you are overworking mentally and emotionally. So it just drain your inner self. So this is called the ego depletion. The ego depletion, and we all have ego. Sometimes some people can't manage it, but at the end of the day, whether we can manage our egos or not, we all have it. So when we are going through a situation that is called ego depletion, it leaves it leaves our body with less mental energy for the actual task that we have to do. Because remember, the actual task that you have to do, the goals that you want to accomplish, is what's really matters is the task that you have to do, and the action part. So the analyzing of the perfect plan part, or keep researching about it part, all of that is nice. All of that is okay, can be necessary, but what really matters is the action part. And what you could experience also when you have a goal, or whatever that you want to work in your self-love. And what could happen, you can get to a point where you become emotionally and mentally empty. You experiencing a situation of mental emptiness. This is one of the most underrated role as of a coach, because you have no one to validate your struggle. So when you are going through your struggle, and you can be talking, there's someone that, on your corner, that's actually focused on the things, the goal that you want to accomplish, that can help you to stay focused. But that person also can help you to validate the struggles that you are going through, to help you to say, to empathize with you and with the struggle that you are going through, because the journey is hard and lonely a lot of the time, especially if it's a goal that you're trying to accomplish, that your family, or your friends, nobody is on your corner, or people are telling you why you're doing this, or is this something for you, people are trying to make you feel doubtful about yourself, or people might not understand why you want to do this. They'll say, oh, well, you are perfect, or you are good, um you know but the thing is that people don't know exactly what you truly want. You can explain it to them, but again, a lot of the time when you're trying to find validation from people, a lot of the time they can give you, they can put you in a position where they probably don't understand you. They don't understand why you're trying to accomplish what you set out to accomplish. They probably try to, it could be jealousy, it can be envy, it could be that they just don't see your vision. They just don't see what you're aiming for. So whichever the situation might be, whichever reason why they might be doing this, it's up to them. But what's up to you is that you gotta still do it, that you know what you want, and you wanna make it real in your lifetime. So when you have a coach, the coach help you to validate your experience of the struggles that you will face. Because again, I already tell you that the journey is difficult, or the journey is hard, and it also can be lonely sometimes. Because the thing is, the good part about it is that a coach normalize the struggle. A coach help you to, help you to understand that what you might find is a struggle. It could be something that is not gonna last for such a too long time, but it's something that that is part of the process. It's something that when you sign up for that also comes as in the package of the entire thing. So a coach help you to understand that, to make sense out of the struggle that you're going through, or the coach can give you a listening ear to that you can vent, that you can actually express what you're going through. And because without that, you internalize the struggle as a personal failure. And when you internalize something as a personal failure, and just like I told you guys, if you feel that you're becoming a failure, then exactly you would actually try to find different things, different excuses, different activities, different people. You start to create that circumstance of what you believe in. So also when you are doing it alone, the discipline, or you're trying to have self-discipline alone, there's no one to push you past your limited or your self-limiting beliefs, because we all have self-limiting beliefs. So meaning that you are not able, self-limiting beliefs always speak like this, that you're trying to put a cap, a cover, if you're trying to put a cover over your abilities. This is what it is. So that's used with your mindset. You put a stop. So your mind will tell you you can stop at 40% if you are trying to do something. Your mind can tell you, well, if you go in and if you can go, well, 3 times, or if you can go, if you find your mind will tell you, oh, 40% or 2 times is enough, and that's all that you have in your tank, that's all the energy that you have. A coach will be able to recognize that, and put that this is an opportunity for you to actually grow, and can help you to push past your comfort zone, because we all have our comfort zone, meaning a place that can, that we are very comfortable at, that we feel that it's safe. But a lot of the time our ability is beyond our comfort zone, and beyond our comfort zone is where we actually have the aha moment. It's where we actually achieve or become better, or to get more reward into what we are doing. And the thing is, on your own, you almost always listen to the voice that says this is enough. On your own, your mind always trying to tell you, okay, yeah, I've done enough, this is enough, that's enough time, I've done my best, all of this. Your mind is always trying to keep you safe. But with a coach, it can help you to push further beyond, have a breakthrough beyond of what you actually feeling, or the limits that you put on yourself. And again, as human beings, we all are limitless. But there are so many situations, so many things that we probably, from our upbringing, from the society that we live in, from our friends, from our colleagues, from so many different areas, that creates different limits over ourselves. And sometimes we might not be aware of it, and that's why it becomes a limit. That's something that we don't even know that it's actually happening. And also, when you are breaking through your limits, or through your limits, there are certain moments that you will have small wins. To When you want to celebrate small wins, it can become harder when you're alone, because you're not seeing the small wins that you're actually having. A coach can help you to point out this progress, and help you to celebrate the consistency of the week that you are having, or consistency of saying and practice. Because a lot of the time you might think, okay, well, when am I going to receive some result, or why is the result opposite from what I expected? And a coach can help you to still find small wins that you might not be even aware of, that you are receiving. So alone, when you're doing it alone, all these small wins can go very much unnoticed. Especially when you're doing it alone, all these small wins can basically, you're not aware of them. It's what this tends to happen is that it's making your journey feels longer, and also unrewarding. You not have somebody to help you to make you feel good about the effort that you are putting in, and to see the effort that you are putting in. That's one of the most important thing too. In essence, a coach is like a crutch for your willpower. And again, this is why, we will have teachers, we'll have professors, we'll have instructors, we'll have so many in life. There's so many crutches that we have. And sometimes some people you can take crutches as a bad thing, but crutches can also be a good thing that helps you to maintain your willpower. it is a mirror for your blind spots. So meaning you might be considering some things, but you're not considering this or that or other things. So that the your blind spot can be just seeing one thing, and while there are other options that are available in terms to achieve your goal or different solutions. So and also, as a coach, we help you to stay on track like a compass. They help you to stay on track when you lost focus, when you lost the track of things that you have to do, that you want to accomplish. So doing it alone means you have to build your own everything. While that can be something that you can put on yourself, but again, once you have the resource to do that, you don't have to do it alone. So, and while it can be even less work doing it with a coach, and it can bring the time, bring the structure, and bring the accountability, bring the ability to actually, all these other things that you need to stay focused in your goal. So